Good morning. It's October 24th, 2023. It's about 6 o'clock. I started from Grandview Point around 5:30. I stopped at the first Coconino contact here, took a break, took it nice and slow early on. The trail up above through the Kaibab is got a lot of, it got some damage to the trail bed from last winter's storms and runoff, so the trail bed's a little rough, but yeah, so we're gonna do the Grandview-Tonto-New Hance. Got one night down in the Hance use area. Gonna try and get to the Colorado as close as I can today, so 14 miles today probably, and then the 7 miles up New Hance. So it's about 43 degrees, 42 degrees, something like that. It's supposed to get to the 60s, low 60s up at the rim. We'll see what it's like down below. Looking down onto the mesa just before sunrise. Just about made it to the neck of the mesa and just in the sun for the first time. It's about 2.5 hours into the hike. Moving nice and slow. It's about 60 degrees almost. Heading out the west arm and gonna hook up with a Tonto out there. Just at Horseshoe Mesa Butte, and just gonna do a panorama here. Sun's behind some clouds. Heading out to the west arm. Almost out to the trail that goes down and connects with the Tonto. You can see the Tonto down there. Be there soon. Almost to the Tonto. Making our way around via the Tonto. Vishnu on the right, Wotan, Angel's Gate. Very nice. Beautiful day. First glimpse of the Colorado, and I assume that's Hance Rapids down there. Way off in the distance. This Hance Creek Canyon over here. Still heading around. Looks like the trail follows the top of the Tapeats for a while here along side Hance Canyon. See how far that goes. Took a long time to get here. It is almost noon. I got a long way to go yet, but pretty soon I'll be down in Hance, get some water, and then see how far I'm going to go before I call it quits. Try and get as far east in the Hance use area as I can, and then go up New Hance tomorrow. All right, there was no water where the Tonto crosses Hance Creek up there, just about 40 yards, but there is water down here and it's marked with cairns. Got a couple cairns that are located in the water. So it's a pretty decent flow and a nice little hole there to collect some water. Hiking out along the Tonto on the east side of Hance. Pretty much similar trail the whole way here. It gets a little rough in and out of some gullies, but this is the kind of trail bed you got. Nice view. It's just a gorgeous day. Get a little warm, but not too bad. So come back to the south rim here. Finally bending out of Hance Creek Canyon, and you can hear Sockdolliger Rapids down there to the left. You can't see it, but you can see a little bit of the river. Look at this crack. I don't know if the camera can do it justice, but that is one hell of a drop through there. Right off the trail here. It's really cool. Just past that spot where the crack is, there's a primitive camp spot here, a camp location out on this point. Nice view. Dry campsite. This is the end of Mineral Canyon, and there's Hance's asbestos mine over on the north side of the river. Man, that is quite a specimen of a little mule deer. Look at the antlers on him. Ooh, baby. Just downstream from Hance Rapids. collected some water. Didn't have to use any flocculant on it. The water's really clear today. So I just used the Sawyer straight. Anyway, heading up. It's a little after 7, maybe 7:30, something like that. And that's Red Canyon. This is just above that first Shockstone bypass, which is on the right. It's a cool little place for a camp spot, unless there's pack rats in here. I don't see a lot of evidence. That'd be a cool place for shelter from a storm, unless the wash is running. Second major bypass going up, and it's cairned to go left, east, around this. That's pretty cool. This is the view back down the wash. You walk along the edge of that Hakatai cliff there for a while. And I'm not sure what formation that is, or what butte that is. I'd have to look and see. And this is going up the wash. You hit some sweet slick rock in the bed up here. That'll make easier going, I think. The trail crosses the wash up here. It's about a little over 5 miles to the trailhead from here. And in this little wash here, there's vast limestone, and those are stromatolites. Those are fossilized blue-green algae in the Bass limestone. This is pointed out in Hiking Grand Canyon Geology. The circular mats of algae that were fossilized in the limestone. the climb coming out of that wash where the stromatolites are is pretty straight slog uphill. There's no switchbacks. It's on this Hakatai, I think this is Hakatai Shale. Real narrow trail base. Imagine coming down this would be really tough as far as footing goes. Real easy to slip and fall. So, working our way up. Okay, I'm taking a break here. This is a tent site. This is 4.7 miles from the trailhead. There's a tent site out here. It's nice. Beautiful view. This is at the Bright Angel Shale Shinuma Quartzite contact, according to the geology book. Just sent a message over there via the inReach to my wife at the rim. Let her know where I'm at. She's gonna pick me up at the trailhead later on. All right, later. It's another tent platform. This is a little over 4 miles from the rim. Over on top of, I guess this is the top of the red wall fin, unless it goes up a little further. Yeah, I said pause here and take in the views. Because going up, it's going to be in the canyon, not going to have good views. I think that's the tent platform right there. I'm not sure though. We'll have to see as we go up a little further. Alright, so now we go up this draw, pretty much, maybe in and out of it, all the way up to the overlook of the saddle, the Coconino saddle. Well, I'm at the Coconino saddle, finally. 1.2 miles to the trailhead, something like that. Man, this trail is tough. Yeah, more of this. Well, I haven't been recording much toward the end of the hike, which is pretty typical. And that's because it's been a slog. Not a lot of just straight trail bed, a lot of climbing over boulders, going up cliff faces. Well, not really big cliff faces, but bigger boulders. Some hand and foot stuff. Tour weight moderates a little bit, but then there's some climbing there too. Kaibab is tougher, getting through the limestone. So I think I'm about 300 feet shy of the top. Ooh, baby. Ooh. All right, I'm done. It is 4:36. I don't know if I'm in the picture here or not, but some thoughts on that hike. I'll provide more detailed thoughts and whatever when I can calm down a little bit. Definitely the hardest hike I ever did. Grandview-Tonto-New Hance. Going down this trail, I don't think I'd want to do that. A lot of people I talked to who did go down thought going up would be better. I think it's true. There's too many sections of loose shale, limestone sections that really are slippery. I fell going down Grandview, the connector trail there. I fell down a couple times there. That was really bad too. So anyway, I'll give a lot more detail later on when I calm down and can collect my thoughts. Fun hike though, definitely the hardest hike. Would I do it again? No, not in 2 days. I'd give it more. I'd give it 3, maybe 4. Then you're carrying more stuff. So it's a trade-off. So, but it was a fun time. Good weather. Nothing wrong with that. So, now you got to put this together somehow. Take care. All right, so my thoughts on this hike. I'm back in Pennsylvania now. Had time to think about it. I jotted down some notes that I wanted to just cover and just go over a few things, a few observations. So why did I do this hike? I do have a long-term goal of completing the entire Tonto in sections and most of the named trails from the South Rim, if I can. And this hike would complete the section from the west arm of Horseshoe Mesa down to Red Canyon, to the start of the Tonto, the official Tonto Trail. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this clockwise. I figured it'd be better to do it clockwise also, after speaking with a lot of folks, a lot of backpackers who have done this before, and also the backcountry rangers. Going down the New Hance is slippery. The trail bed is really on loose shale and loose gravel quite a bit, and so there are sections like in the Hockatai, it's really slippery. And I know some other backpackers like Hiker Guy 16 had problems with slipping and falling. And I did too, going down Grandview. So doing it clockwise, I slipped and landed on my butt once going down Grandview, and then twice going down the connector from Horseshoe Mesa down to the Tonto. That stretch there is like a mile-long stretch, is very steep, and I landed on my butt twice going down that. Basically landed on the pack more than my butt, so no harm, no foul. Also, let's see. So the trail was 21 miles long, and I thought it was a good split of time to do the first day, 14 miles, and camp at the eastern end of the Hance use area, and then the next day go up the New Hance trail to the trailhead. My wife would pick me up at the trailhead. So I figured that those 2 days, even though they're much different in length, the severity of ascent on the New Hance trail would probably be just as difficult as the 14-mile day on the first day, and I think it pretty much was. I emptied the tank on both days, pretty much. Also, it allows for good water strategy. So going down the Grandview and then over Tonto, I could pick up water at Hance Creek, and then hiking all the way to the Colorado or thereabouts, collect water at the Colorado for the hike up. Colorado was running nice and clear, so I didn't need any flocculant or anything. I just didn't even have to let it settle. It was so clear that I just filtered it straight through the Sawyer. So the connector trail going down to the Tonto off of the west arm of Horseshoe Mesa, I had trouble finding that. Another reason why I went clockwise going up the New Hance trail is I thought there'd be issues with route finding, and I found that to be somewhat the case, but nothing really major. Most of it was cairned pretty well. There were some sections where I had to stop and collect myself and just really look for cairns or look for the trail bed, and then on close inspection you could generally find it pretty quickly. But there were some areas that were cairned too much, and cairns in places that you didn't need cairns, and no cairns in places where cairns would have maybe been appropriate. So I didn't remove any cairns, I didn't place any cairns. But I find that in other trails too, that the cairn placement is sometimes not that great. Also found a problem, well, going back, I could not find the start of the connector trail off the west arm of the mesa. And I went pretty far out on the west arm. I knew I was well past it and just referred back to my Gaia app. And I really realized, oh wow, yeah, I'm like so far past this. I had to backtrack actually twice to find the place where it takes off down off the mesa arm. And then also approaching the Colorado, there were areas where I was following cairns and somehow got off of the main trail down to the Colorado and got on some other cairned path. Took me past some really decent camping spots on the dunes above the Colorado, kind of shrub and boulder covered dunes that had good spots for camping. But I looked over on the edge, looked down, and said, oh, well, there's the main trail down there. So basically, yeah, it was good. Like I said, I emptied the tank on both days. Made it fine, no problem. Had water to spare. I think I took something like 3 liters with me both days to start. 3 liters in the pack plus whatever I had outside the pack. You know, that was like maybe 3/4 of a liter. So I guess about a gallon, something like that. So yeah, worked out well. Looking forward to my next trip out there, which is next October. I'm going to be helping a friend do a rim to rim. It's on his bucket list. Hasn't been out to the canyon. I know he hasn't hiked the canyon. He may have been out there like last year or 2 years ago, but looking forward to just doing a regular rim to rim and staying at the North Rim cabin and taking the shuttle back. So we're going south to north. That's next October. So anyway, sorry for not looking at the camera, but this is, oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. This is the first time in hiking the Grand Canyon where I had problems with my knees going down, and it was probably tendonitis. Other people in our parties in the past have had this problem with tendonitis going down, and then everything was fine going up, and that's what happened to me this time. Any going down was just like brutal after a while on that first day, and even the second day. Any little stretches of down was very painful, but everything going up was fine. So I think it's just the constant pounding. I probably should have done a little bit more lunges or steps and get some of those muscle groups, the fine muscle groups around the knees in better shape, because otherwise you're just gonna pound that joint going down. So anyway, that's about it. And hopefully this was watchable. Take care.